Today, we're diving into the concepts and dangers of fascism, using Jason Stanley's book, How Fascism Works, The Politics of Us and Them, as our guide. Stanley provides a thought-provoking breakdown of how fascist politics operate, the tactics they use, and the impact they have on societies. Part 1. The Politics of Us and Them. Fascism begins with creating a clear division. Stanley explains that fascism is built on the politics of us versus them. It relies on ultranationalism, where there's an intense focus on a pure national identity. A fascist movement positions a mythic version of us as united and superior, while branding a certain group as them, marking them as threats or outsiders. Through this lens, fascism creates a false sense of unity within the us group, offering them a shared identity that makes them feel stronger and closer. But this unity is built on dehumanizing and demonizing the them group, pushing a divide that fuels hatred and discrimination. Part 2. The 10 Pillars of Fascist Politics. Stanley identifies 10 pillars essential to fascist ideology. These are tactics used to manipulate public opinion and entrench fascist ideals in society. The mythic past. Fascist movements often refer to an idealized past, a golden age they claim must be restored. This creates a powerful nostalgia that attracts followers by promising a return to a supposedly better time. Propaganda. Fascist regimes rely on propaganda to spread their message and create a sense of crisis. The narrative of danger or moral decay is amplified, making people believe action is urgent and necessary. Anti-intellectualism. There's a rejection of intellectualism and expertise. By undermining scientists, scholars, and journalists, fascist movements foster a distrust of knowledge and encourage a simplistic worldview. Unreality. Fascism thrives on creating a sense of unreality, where truth is blurred by promoting conspiracy theories and alternative facts. This tactic builds a following of people willing to reject basic truths and adopt the regime's new reality. Hierarchy. Fascist movements are structured by a strict hierarchy. The leader is at the top, with a rigid command structure underneath, cultivating loyalty and discouraging dissent. Victimhood. Fascist ideologies frame the us group as victims. This victimhood narrative justifies aggressive policies or actions against the them group as necessary defense. Law and order. A fascist regime frequently promotes a law and order agenda, positioning itself as the force that will restore peace. In reality, this strict law and order focus is often a pretext for suppressing dissent and silencing opposition. Sexual anxiety. Fascist politics often stir sexual anxiety, feeding fears around gender roles, family structures, and social change. Patriarchal and homophobic policies are justified as protecting society. Scapegoating. Fascist leaders blame minority groups for a nation's problems. By scapegoating these groups, they can channel public frustration away from the real issues and toward marginalized communities. Preemptive war. Fascist regimes often engage in preemptive war, promoting militarization and justifying aggression as defense. This serves to unite people against an external threat, real or imagined, and consolidate control. Part 3. The Consequences of Fascism. Finally, Stanley warns of the dangers and ultimate consequences of fascist politics. Fascist rule erodes democracy, undermines human rights, and fosters an environment of fear and violence. When unchecked, fascism silences diversity, restricts freedoms, and leads to oppression and brutality. Stanley's message is also a call to action. He emphasizes that resisting fascist ideologies is critical to protecting democracy and human rights. It's a reminder that the strength of any society lies in its commitment to inclusivity, justice, and truth. Stanley's How Fascism Works is more than a warning. It's a toolkit to recognize the signs and tactics of fascism. It challenges us to stand up for the values that hold democracy together and to remain vigilant against forces that seek to divide us. Thank you for watching, and remember, understanding these tactics is the first step in resisting them.